Good afternoon and welcome to our Midday Mull for Friday the 12th of June. Continuing my read through the prophet Isaiah today, in Isaiah 44 he has a long discussion about idolatry and how he makes fun of idolaters, saying you take a tree and you chop it down, and then some of it you use to make a fire to cook on, and you eat the bread and you go, oh, I've been provided for, and you use some of it to make a fire to keep warm. And on a day like today, that's a good idea. And he says, and then you take some of it and you make an idol out of it and you bow down and worship it. It just doesn't make sense. And we need to remember that at that point in time, some of the kings of Israel had put idols into the temple. So this was something that was not entirely foreign to Israel and to the people of Judah. And there's a challenge by God to remain faithful. And then reading from chapter 44, verse 21, God says, remember these things, O Jacob, for you are my servant, O Israel. I have made you. You are my servant. O Israel, I will not forget you. I have swept away your offenses like a cloud, your sins like the morning mist. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. And it's called by God to come back to him and saying, remember these things. Remember that idols are nothing. Remember what I've done for you. And that encouraging word, O Israel, I will not forget you. And I was struck by how often we work with God in faith. And God doesn't stand back and wait for us. Like the tale of the prodigal son. The prodigal son turns and starts coming back home. The minute the father sees him, he runs out and embraces him. He doesn't stay and wait and wait and wait. And God's exactly the same. He tells Israel, remember these things, because I will not forget you. And we need to be encouraged by that as we walk with God and we don't get it right, and we keep trying, and sometimes it works, and sometimes we feel close to God, and sometimes it feels like God's the other side of the universe, or if he's there at all. But in all these things, as we keep doing what God calls us to do, God keeps doing what he says he does. And he has redeemed us. He has brought us back. He has made us his own. And Isaiah then continues with this great call to rejoicing. Sing for joy, O heavens, for the Lord has done this. Shout aloud, O earth beneath. Burst into song, you mountains, you forests and all you trees. For the Lord has redeemed Jacob. He displays his glory in Israel. And so as God works his purpose in us, the entire universe rejoices at it. And we need to recognize that and join in and thank God and work with God. And so I pray that as you walk faithfully with God, you will know that he is there. As you remember him, know that he says, I will not forget you. Sometimes it might not feel like that, but God always keeps his word. And so I pray that you would know this, that it would be an encouragement, that you'd join the universe in celebrating joyfully what God has done, and that you would have peace in him. Be blessed.